Welcome to my workshop. Last month I shared how I got scammed by an Opal dealer on Opal auctions. The opals they had pictured did not look as good quality as the opals that I received, and I showed how they could have achieved that by simply adjusting the saturation, color saturations in the video and pictures that they posted. Some people seem to believe that that is common practice and it's not a scam, that's how opals are shown. And that is not my experience. Most of the opals I have purchased looked exactly or almost exactly like they were pictured. There is going to be some variance because cameras pick up light differently and people use different types of lighting sources. My shop has cheap overhead LED lights, but I also looked at the opal under natural lighting. I used different types of flashlights and floodlights to look at my opals and examine them. I have some opals here that I purchased, and I will show you that they look just like the opals looked in the advertisement. When I posted the video about the scam, I did not share the vendor's name because I was concerned that possibly the vendor could see that and use it against me. I wanted to wait until I got my refund. Well, now I've got my refund, and so I'm going to tell you. The vendor's name on Opal auctions was Dreamtime Opals. Now, they're not the only vendor that I've seen do this in their videos, or in their advertising. But other vendors seem to do it in a little different way. When I asked for a refund, this vendor told me to mail them back to True Blue. It is not their business name as was on their website. And then when I got my refund, the refund came from Lightning Opals. To me, it's really suspicious that they're using different business names throughout the transaction. It seems pretty shady, and I really don't know what to make of it other than, wow, they seem like scam artists. So I'll bring the camera over here and I'll show you these opals that I purchased. Now these bunches came from different vendors. These two I bought as singular opals, and this one came as a parcel. Well, let's start with this one. I'll get it wet. And yes, I did wet the other opals before I filmed them. This one is an orange opal. It's got a yellowish body tone and orange and green play of color. Kind of hard to focus on it. This camera does not pick up the orange play of color all that great. I'll try and film it with my other camera. But it's very bright, and it looks like when I take the skin off the surface, it will have a very nice pattern. It's going to be 2 small opals, probably a carat or less each. Alright, here it is with my cell phone. You can see much more of the orange. It's actually brighter than it looks here. Oh, I don't even have my cell phone's flash on. Let's turn that on. There. There, now look at that. That's a nice opal. The other opals from Dreamtime, I could not get to look like it with all of my lights, direct sunlight, getting them wet. Nothing I did made them look as good as they were photographed. This one here is more green blue, little yellow. It's very bright. You can see the play of color through the skin at certain angles. So I know it's going to be a very bright, probably a broad flash opal. And this is a parcel of opal. They're not the brightest, but they're very, very nice. This is going to be a really nice blue crystal opal. A very nice dark blue opal. There's a little green one I'm hoping will brighten up really well. It looks like it's pretty bright in the middle. And some of them, this one's pretty washed out. It does have some play of color. And brightens up from certain angles. That might be nice. But as you can see, these are the opals I paid for. They look like the opals pictured. And that's even without special lighting. I am not an expert in opal scams. This is the only scam I've been personally exposed to. But I know there are a lot of other opal scams. There's people selling cheaper opal as Australian opal, or synthetic opal as natural Australian opal, or people selling doublets and triplets as solid opal, or smoking opal and selling it as natural. But I feel like this is one of the more common scams, and it seems to only be on cheaper opals. You know, I purchased a cheap parcel of opal wanting to practice on something. I wanted to try out some different kind of techniques on them because I didn't want to spend, you know, a couple $100 or so on a single opal and ruin it. Actually, I don't know how much I spent on this. It's been a while. I bought it a while ago. The sad thing is this type of opal scam probably only affects newer opal cutters. People who are less experienced, more likely to go for a cheaper parcel, knowing you know they're not going to get $10,000 carat out of it, but hoping to break even, or you know, just looking for something to practice on. And that kind of thing could discourage people from trying this hobby. It's very expensive. My equipment is thousands of dollars. Luckily, I inherited a lot of it, but I've spent at least $1,000 restoring my polisher with all brand new wheels and new belts and pumps and stuff like that. And I hope people don't get discouraged when they buy cheap opals and they turn out like the ones I got. That could be very disheartening. Anyway, thanks for watching.